A woman with no hands was walking home from work. Suddenly, she heard a baby crying from inside a dumpster. She was disabled herself. She didn't want to get involved, but she had been abandoned as a child too. That shared experience stopped her in her tracks. She decided to save the baby. She tried to pick the baby up with her mouth, but her teeth couldn't bear the weight. There was no other way. She dragged the dumpster over to the steps, then used her feet to lift the baby out. Maybe she saw herself in that baby. This woman's name was Sarah. She worked as a parking lot attendant. She'd grown up in an orphanage, born without arms, left by the riverside by her parents right after birth. Because of how she looked, people had stared at her differently for as long as she could remember. She'd learned to make faces to scare people off before they could stare too long. She kept her phone tucked inside her boot. Most days, she just ate instant noodles. Luckily, she had a brother named Leo, who'd grown up right alongside her. Leo had been born deaf. The two of them had looked out for each other their whole lives. One served as the other's ears. The other served as the other's hands. Their bond ran deeper than most siblings. It took everything Sarah had to get the baby home. Looking at this stranger's child, she wasn't sure whether to call the police. The moment the call connected, the baby suddenly started crying, almost like she was fighting against it. Sarah hung up right away. She changed the baby into clean clothes and a fresh diaper. That's when she realized it was a girl. Even though the call had been cut short, the police still came by to check things out. Sarah managed to hide the baby just before they walked in. The officer searched the apartment, found nothing out of place. Just as he was about to leave, a sound came from inside the closet. The officer walked over to open it. Right then, his phone alarm went off, a reminder to take his folic acid. Turned out he and his wife were trying to have a baby. A little embarrassed, he hurried out of Sarah's apartment. Once the police were gone, Sarah finally worked up the nerve to open the closet. She whispered, "Don't cry." Little by little, this baby began to melt Sarah's heart. The next morning, she woke up to the baby tugging at her hair. She went out and bought formula, doing her best to mix it the way a mother would, testing the temperature with the back of her foot, caring for the baby however she could. They hadn't been together long, but Sarah felt something. She and this baby were both people the world had thrown away. Determined not to let the child repeat her own fate, she brought the baby back to the very riverbank where she herself had once been abandoned. She named her Lily, and she made her a promise. No matter who you grow up to be, you will never be abandoned again. But that happiness didn't last long. Someone reported her, claiming she'd trafficked the baby. When Leo met Lily for the first time, he was instantly charmed by her. But his first move wasn't to pick her up. It was to lean in close to her ear and shout. He wanted to test her hearing, and confirmed Lily's hearing was just fine. Leo kept urging Sarah to turn the baby over to the police station. He said raising a kid cost too much. There was no way they could afford it. Sarah wouldn't budge. She told Leo, "Back when we were kids in the orphanage, all you ever wanted was a family." Right then, a call came in, a delivery order. Leo kept insisting they should give Lily up, but after he finished his delivery run, he came right back to help Sarah take care of her. 3 people nobody had wanted had somehow become a family none of them could live without. But just then, the police showed up to take the baby away. They suspected Sarah was harboring the child illegally.